Hello everyone, welcome to the lab of heat and mass transfer in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore, New Campus. My name is Mohammad Adil Munir and today we will learn the lab session number 8 for this lab. So lab session 8, it is to experimentally verify the heat transfer from the extended surface from combined modes of free convection, conduction and radiation heat transfer by comparing it with the theoretical analysis. So it is about the extended surface. As we know, the fins which are used to increase the heat transfer rate. So it is the experiment is based on the concept of fins basically, and its learning objective is to analyze the increase in heat transfer by using extended surface body. So first of all, I will show you its schematic diagram, which is here. Okay, in this schematic diagram, you can see it is on the extreme right, it is a heater. So we are just providing the heat to this unit, and on this rod, there are different types of sensors which are basically thermocouple. They are placed here and their numbers start from T1 to T8. So the distance of sensors is increasing from the heater. So this is something about schematic diagram. Before proceeding, I will like to show you some dimensions which are already known about this apparatus. These dimensions include basically different values like the diameter of its rod is 0.01 meter, the length of the rod is 0.35, its heated effective cross-sectional area is also given, and heated rod surface area is also there are two type of area. One is cross sectional area and second is surface area. The thermal conductivity of heated rod, because due to the heat the thermal conductivity will change, so the value of heated rod value of thermal conductivity for heated rod is given. And also we know from the literature the value of Stephen Boltzmann constant. So these are all the values which are given. So we will use here apparatus. One is extended surface heat transfer unit. Its code is H111E, and the main parts are heater, cylinder, 8 temperature sensors, thermocouple, heater, and heat transfer service unit, main console. So now I will show you the uh, this table, observation table. Basically, we will start voltage and current to the heater, and then after some specific after providing some specific voltage and current, we will give a time to the unit so that its reading may be stabilized, and then we will note the temperature from T1 to T9, and these values all we will measure, and the distance of all of these thermocouples or temperature sensors from each other, these are given. For example, the distance of T1 is at 0, but T2 is at 0.05 from T1, and T3 is at 0.1 meter from T1. So so on, these distances are given for all of these sensors. So now we will move towards the laboratory and we will see how to perform this experiment of extended surface heat transfer unit. So before moving to lab, I will like to tell you that we are using the apparatuses which are working on very high voltage and current, so there is a need to take the proper safety precautions, uh, so that we may avoid all type of electrical risks and hazards. So in addition, we need to use all the PPEs, personal protection equipment, for our safety. So now I will show you how we will perform this experiment in the laboratory. Okay, in the laboratory, this is the equipment of extended surface unit. You can see it is heater, and there is a rod in front of heater, and on this rod we have different sensors placed on different positions. So we can take the readings of all of the sensors, and He is just attaching this apparatus with the main console unit. So it has attached, and now these are all the plugs which are from the different sensors, temperature sensors. So he is just placing all of these plugs into the sockets. And remember one thing, the numbers on the plugs are written from T1, T2, T3 and onward, and also these numbers are written on the sockets as well. So he is just placing the respective plug into the socket. The number written on plug is 1, that will be attached to the socket which has number 1 written on it, and for similarly for number 2, 3, 4 and up to so on, he will just attach or place all of these plugs into their respective sockets. So now when we will start the operators, we will be able to measure all values of temperature. So these are all the thermocouples which are placed on the rod, and their distance is increasing from the heated heater. So now he almost has attached all the temperature sensors, and now he has switched on the operators. So after switching on the operators, we will provide some voltage. He's just providing the voltage by the rotation of the knob. By this knob, we can increase or decrease the amount of voltage. And now he has provided voltage 150 volt. You can see it on the digital meter on the extreme right side. Now it is 148. We will have to wait for 10 to 15 minutes to stabilize the reading, because the voltage and current, they will fluctuate on the initial time. Then after 10 to 15 minutes they will stabilize. So now he is taking the reading of temperature. This is a red knob. By the rotation of this red knob, now he is taking the reading of T4 basically. So we will rotate this red knob and we will note the temperatures for all of the sensors. Now this is the value of T5. So he will continuously rotate from T1 to T8 or T9, and he will note all the values. This is T6. So this is the value of voltage current what we have provided. So now he is just taking the reading against this voltage, and this is our main operators, extended surface unit. So it is the value of T8. Now he has changed the voltage, and after changing the voltage you need to wait there for at least 10 to 15 minutes so that voltage may be stabilized. Now he has increased the voltage and current. Now he will take the reading again against this voltage. This is T7. So it is on to you how much different set of reading you want to take. You can take as many reading as per your convenience. Now he is taking the reading of T6. Then he will rotate the knob and he will take the reading of T5. So by the rotation of this red knob, you will note the reading of different temperature sensors from T1, T2, T3 and so on. Now he has changed the voltage again, and then we will wait for further 10 minutes so that reading may be stabilized. So now again we may take the reading for third set. So this is about how we will perform the experiment. So after taking these readings of temperatures and voltages, we will move towards our manual, and we will learn that how we will use all of these readings to calculate the total heat transfer in extended surface unit. So now I am moving towards my lab manual. Okay, we have got all the readings from the experiment, and this was the observation table. So for one value of voltage and current, we have got all the values of these temperature sensors T1 to T8, and basically this T9, this is a sensor which is used for ambient temperature, the room temperature that is generally taken from 25 degrees centigrade to 30 centigrade in this region. So we may use the value, or we may measure it as well from the experiment. So basically we will use all the values of these temperatures to calculate our further readings, and these are all the distances of these sensors. from T1. So now we will learn how we will use all of these readings. So first column is about the heat input. This is Q in watt. W is the unit in watt. So it is a formula. Q input is basically voltage into current. So we have measured the voltage and current. We will multiply those values and we will get the reading of this heat input. So for one value of heat input, we will calculate all the other parameters, and for second set of reading, we will change the value of this voltage and current. So for first value, for example, first set of observation, this is the column. This is the distance of all of these sensors from T1. For example, T1 is at 0 distance, T2 is at 0.05 meter, T3 is at 0.1, and so on. These are all the distances of different sensors from T1. So next column is Tx minus Ta over T1 minus Ta. T1, you know, that will be the reading of temperature number 1, temperature sensor number 1, and Ta is ambient temperature, and that is taken from T9 basically. This is written here. Ta is basically T9 plus 273.15. This is the amount we just add in it to convert it into Kelvin. And so this T1 and Ta, these are the constant values, and on the numerator we have this Ta. This is also ambient temperature. Now this Tx, this will vary. For example, if we will measure the we will calculate the reading of for T1, we will use here T1 instead of Tx. For second reading T2, we will use here T2, T3, T4, and so on. So we will vary the values of this Tx from T1 to T8, and we will get the different readings here. So this is one column. The second column is basically, this is cos hyperbolic. Cos hyperbolic is a function. You can use this in your calculators, and inside bracket this is m into length minus x divided by cos hyperbolic m into L. So now we will see what are these parameters. Basically in this parameter, this L is length that is given, length of rod that is given. This x is basically the distance of respective sensor, and these distances are given here in this column. So you will use this x here as well. So in the denominator, it is L is again length. Now what's about this m? We will see how we will measure this m. M is basically a constant value, and its formula is given here. This is m. M is a constant value, and we will get it by solving different constant values. For example, this is measured with this H, P, K, and A, and by their taking their under root. So what are these values? Now I will explain it to you one by one. So you can see this K, this is the thermal conductivity of rod. This is given. This A is area, surface area. This is also given. This P is perimeter. This is basically equal to pi into D. Pi is 3.1416 and D is the diameter of rod. This is also given. So you have all of these three values, but the one value is H. That is the heat transfer coefficient, and that creates a problem, and that will take a lot of time. This H, basically it is the sum of HR plus HC. HR is denoted for radiative for heat transfer coefficient due to radiation, and HC is a heat transfer coefficient due to convection. So this is the sum of two. Now we will calculate this HR and HC separately, and then we will add both of them to get the value of H, and then we will use this value of H here to get the value of M. So now what is HC? This is the formula for HC. This is 1.32 inside bracket T mean minus TA over capital D and raised to power 0.25. So what is this TA? This is basically T ambient temperature, and we have got it from this T9. So what is this T mean? It is basically the mean of all of these temperature values, T1, T2, T3, 4, T4, T5, T6, T7, and T8, and then we will divide it by 8. So it is a total number of readings from temperature sensors, and divided by 8, divided by the total number, plus 273 is just used to convert them into Kelvin. So we will get the value of this T mean. Ta, D is the diameter of rod that is given. So we will take their 0.25 as their power, and then we will multiply it by 1.32 and we will get this heat transfer coefficient due to convection. Now next problem is heat transfer coefficient due to radiation, and its formula is given here. So you can see its formula is given here. So in this we have the value of this epsilon. Epsilon is basically emissivity of this rod, which is basically the radiation which it will emit, and it is used generally for radiation purpose. So its value is given as 0.95. F is the shape factor. This is also used in the radiation experiment, shape factor or view factor. It is related to the geometry and the surrounding. So the geometry of the rod is in such a way that its value is used here as a 1. So this sigma, this is a Stefan Boltzmann constant, and its value is given in literature 5.67 into 10 raised to power minus 8 watt per meter square per Kelvin. So this T mean we have got it from our measured values. This is the just mean value of all the temperature values used here. So this TA is basically T9 or ambient temperature. So we will use this formula, and we just will calculate the this value of R. Now HR. So now we have got the value of HR and HC both. So now we will use both the values here, and we will get their combined value of H. This will be constant value for one set of reading. And now we will use this value of H in this formula. All other constants are already known, so we will take their square root and we will get this value of M. So now we will use this value of M in this formula again in this table, and now we have got the M value. Length of is already given. X is, I already have mentioned that X is the distance of respective temperature sensor from T1. So for first for T1 value you will use X here 0, then for next value you will use here 0.05, and then for other next value you will use here 0.1. So all values are given. You will just calculate this formula by using the function of cos hyperbolic from your calculator. And if there is another way to calculate this cos hyperbolic function, that is the if you want to calculate this cos hyperbolic ml, this is equal to exponential power ml plus exponential power minus ml over 2. So this ml are already known. You will just use the values. You will calculate this cos hyperbolic ml, and then you will use this value here to calculate this column. So in ideal case, the value of this column and this column, they both should be same, because if the extended surface unit is insulated or properly used operators, then these two columns should be the values of both of these columns should be equal. But in actual practice, generally they don't come to be equal. So it is your responsibility to find the reason, that what are the reason, and you will write that reason in comments, that why the value is different. So ideally both of these values should be same if there is no heat loss. So finally we have to calculate this calculated heat transfer. So now this is final formula we will use here, and now it is very easy to calculate. This is the formula: Q x is equal to KAM Tx minus Ta tan hyperbolic ml. So for this Q, x is basically representing the sensor for which you are calculating the heat. For sensor number 1 you will use here Q1, for sensor number 2 you will use here Q2. So in the above table you will calculate the heat transfer for all of those sensors T1, T2, T3 up to T8. So now the remaining formula I will explain to you. That is the value of K, that is thermal conductivity given, A area, surface area of a rod, that is also given, M we have calculated it from this formula already, and then Tx is basically the temperature of respective sensor. If you are calculating for sensor number 1 you will use here T1, if you are using for sensor number 2 you will use here T2, and up to so on T8. This Ta is ambient temperature, basically T9, and then you will multiply this factor with this tan hyperbolic ml. So M is known from this formula, and L is a length that is given. So you can use your calculator to determine this function tan hyperbolic ml, So if you do not want to use a calculator, this is another way. This is the formula. This is exponential power ml minus exponential power minus ml over exponential power ml plus exponential power ml. So you can use this formula to get the value. Ml is are given. So you will use this value here to calculate this heat transfer. So now we have completed this experiment and we have calculated all the heat transfer from all of these sensors. Now finally is to draw a graph, and the graph uh, between the distance from T1 and thermocouples and temperatures. This is the graph you will draw here. If you see this table, observation table, you have one column of distances. You will take it on x-axis, and you will take the values of all of these temperatures you have measured from the experiment on y-axis, and then you will draw a graph, and there will be one graph for one set of reading for one voltage and current. And if you take 2 to 3 to 4 set of readings, then you will have to draw the graph for all of them separately. So this is all about the experiment, and that was about the extended surface heat transfer unit. So now in the next lab sessions, we will learn other experiments as well. So thank you so much.